welcome or welcome back. And guess what? It's the end of 2025, just about. Okay, it's the 16th. Let's do our 2025 book superlatives, or my 2025 book superlatives, because I don't know, this doesn't involve y'all. So these are not in order of what order they appear on the giant list, the giant page long list, but they are all books around that. So the first book superlative I have is my favorite author that is new to me. So I have two of these. The first one I have is S.A. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, and I love her too much to mispronounce it. I have read 5 books by her. She's my queen. I love her. And the other one is Lynette Nani. They're both my queens. Now, there was qualifications for this. Is one, I had to either have had read books outside of a series by them, or have another book outside of a series by them high on my TBR, which I did with S.A. and then Lynette Nani. I'm going to be reading her, what is it? A Carne series? I'm going to be reading her Carne series very, very soon. So, I feel like it fit the category. She's my queen. I love her. Then, this one is actually from the list. 2 of them. We have the most underrated book I read this year, and for that I have The Daughter of Sparta. I have not heard anything about this book. I picked up the second book in Ollie's last year, and I read like a little bit, and I was obsessed. And I'm obsessed with the series. It was so good. I devoured it. It was such a good series, and no one talks about it. Basically, it is a Daphne and Apollo retelling, but also book 2 is a Trojan War retelling, and then book 3 is kind of like an Odyssey retelling. It's just really fun. Apollo is the love interest. We love him. Yeah, and then for an honorable mention, I have Someone Is Always Watching by Kelly Armstrong. I saw one video about this, and look at the cover. The cover was what sold me. Such a good thriller. Probably, it actually is on one of the other videos I'm going to film. It is on my top 5 of my thrillers. I genuinely loved it so much. It was just so good. It was just so good. And then we have a book that made me sob. Oh, this is crooked. Of course it's crooked. Okay. A book that made me sob. What is going on with my hair? I just spent like so long curling it, and now it's like PMO. A book that made me sob so hard I had a headache. And of course it's Sunrise on the Reaping. What else would it be? What else would it be? This book put me through the emotional ringer time and time again. All this did was wreck me. I have videos of me sobbing after finishing this that I sent to my best friend that was reading it at the time. I was unwell. I read this in March. I read this when it came out in March. I still don't have words for the book without spoiling it. Oh my gosh. My Lonnie's across the room, and I don't feel like getting up to get it, so water it is. Okay, so this series is nominated for a lot on this list, but for best female main character, we have my Queen Tori. We have my Queen Tori Vega. I loved her. I absolutely adore her. I love her. I would die for her. I simply would. And then, in the same vein, best male main character is Darius. And of course, my King Percy, because I did do a reread of Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus, and then I also started Wrath and Chalice and finished Wrath and Chalice, and so technically, but if we're doing this of a male main character that I met this year, because I met both of them last year, we're doing a book that, oh my god, it's crooked still. We're doing a book main male character that I met this year. It's Max. It's Max Antarius. I think that's how you say his name. From the Daughter of No World series. Oh, I love him. 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 Oh. Here's the book that is most likely, you just saw it. Here's the book that's gonna most likely, oh my god. Here's the book that is most likely going to make you chuck it at the wall after finishing it. Onyx Storm. Because what was that ending? What was that ending? What was that ending? I need book 4 right now. I need it. I also need to finish putting in my annotations because I'm only to page 110 with my annotations. That's all I have. And I read this in January. I read this thing when it was released. I bought the ebook. I never buy ebooks because personally, if I cannot hold a book in my hands, I'm not spending money on it. Except for this book because I was so obsessed. So obsessed that I had to. My baby. I love that book. Ah, another one. The book that is going to make you want to shake the characters and scream, "Just kiss already." Darius and Tori. Darius and Tori. My babies. The amount of moments I had reading the Zodiac Academy series where I just wanted to just kiss already, just kiss already, just kiss already. Like, does he deserve you? No. But is he hot and do I want you to kiss him? Yes. Yes. Okay, there's 2 parts of this next one. The one is the best world building, which goes to Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This world was so beautifully built. I was so immersed in it. It's also beautifully written. It's almost like lyrical, but it is lyrical. It's like poetic. It was gorgeously written, and the world was so vivid. Like, I could step into this world. I was so immersed in this story and in this world, and I never wanted to leave it. It was such a good book, and honestly, I wish I talked about this book more. And then the next one was a book world that I would love to live in, and of course that has to be the Royden verse, but it also has to be the Solaria universe, because when am I gonna shut up about this world? I love it so much. That was also kind of like it was a multi-series world, which goes to Solaria and the Royden verse, of course. Okay, and then we have the best reread of the year, and it goes to my babies. I reread a lot of books this year. I reread the entire Percy Jackson series, the entire Heroes of Olympus series, The Magician's Nephew, and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and The Outsiders, and probably some more that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. But honestly, I also would probably put The Outsiders. But the thing is, all of my rereads were amazing. I'm nominating these 2. I'm nominating these 2 because, oh my gosh, things I went through. Anyway, Mark of Athena and The Last Olympian, if you couldn't tell, because I don't invert. I look ugly. The biggest book I read. No shot of anything else. That is the 8th book in the Zodiac Academy series, and I don't even know like the names of half these books, if I'm being completely honest. My bad. I don't know what it's called, but it was over 1,200 words. 1,200 words. Oh my gosh, it's crooked again. Why is it crooked again? So yeah. Whew. Okay, well now it's just looking at me really low. Okay. There we go. Why does my hair look like this? Anyway, it's whatever. I loved it. It was my favorite book in the series, and yet it was as long as it was. And then, keeping on the train, the best completed series I read, simply has to be Zodiac Academy. It simply has to be Zodiac Academy. Don't fight me. I'm right. Now, the best uncompleted series, I have two. One is a book that I literally just read the first book and I'm absolutely obsessed. I'm frothing at the mouth for it, and that's the Darling Devil series. I read the first book in a day, and I cannot wait to read the second one. I'm putting myself on a little pause to read the second book though. I'm making myself wait to read the second book though because I don't want to finish the series super quickly, and the other one was one I've read a lot of, and that is the Lucky River Ranch series. This is a cowboy romance that I love. I like the books could be a little bit better. I do think some of them are a little too similar to Elsie Silver, but honestly, I'm eating it up, and I didn't really have any other that I wanted to nominate for this, so. The best side character goes to Parker Darling. It goes to Parker Darling. I cannot wait for book 3 to come out, and I think like April. I cannot wait for his book to come out. I'm so excited. I'm excited for Grayson's book, don't get me wrong, but Parker, I love him. I'm very excited for his book. Oh, okay, so my best standalone I read. As you can see, I read a lot of series, a lot of incompleted series, a lot of completed series. I'm a series girl. But the best standalone I read was All the Missing Pieces by Katherine Krause, and I wish I talked about it more. But I don't, which sucks because it's such a good book. The romance is amazing. The thriller is amazing. And you could not, like, if the thriller had to stand up by itself, it would eat. And if the romance had to stand by itself, it would eat. But they go so well together that, oh my gosh, it is genuinely one of my favorite books. And, I loved it so much. I was giddy reading it. I was giggling, kicking my feet, but I was also like, oh my god, I need to know what is happening with this thriller, like who did it. I was dying. I loved it. I loved it so much. Top release goes to Sunrise on the Reaping. This release goes to Sunrise on the Reaping because what else would it go to? Because what else would it go to? Because what else would it go to? Oh my gosh. I think about this book every day. I've never had a book tear me into pieces like this book did. And it's so short. It's not a big book by any means. The font is a good size font. The oh my gosh, did it rip me apart and never put me back together. Yeah, it did. I'm gonna do a reread of the original trilogy, Sunrise and Ballad, before the movie comes out. So I'm terrified but very excited. Where'd it go? Okay, so best couple in a romance goes to Gloves Off. I loved this. I realized this year with two very exciting releases, I realized that I like in romance, what's it called? Marriage of convenience, when they dislike each other. Frothing at the mouth for it, and this is one of the books that made me realize it. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was just amazing. Okay, the most overrated book I read goes to Caught Up. Not by Liz Tomford, by whoever wrote the Lights Out book. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not funny to disrespect an entire religion because you were hurt by a church. It's not cute to have people literally having like lustful thoughts during mass. It's not cute and it's not funny. It's actually really disgusting. And that's all I have the energy to say about that because that was gross. That was icky. I've never DNF'd a book so quickly. And I got that shit on Hoopla. Like, it's not often that I DNF a book on Hoopla because I used to say, like, I used to download for it. So I don't only have 4 downloads a month. That was disgusting. I DNF'd it like 10% into it. That's gross. I was fine when she was talking about how, oh, the Catholic Church made me hate myself and like, because purity culture can be very toxic, okay? I hate the way a lot of people go about talking about purity culture. I will say first, like, there is no reason to make a woman or a man or anyone think that they are less because they have had sex. Okay, there's no reason for it. It's rude, it's disgusting. But there's also no reason to be hating on an entire group of people for something. For something a few people do. Like, it's disgusting. You can't have stereotypes about nobody except Christians. And that pisses me off. Anyway, moving on with the thing, because we have better things to talk about. Best romance went to Wild Side, which was the other book that made me be like, I'm frothing at the mouth for Marriage and Convenience when they dislike each other, because Gloves Off, and like, honestly, Gloves Off and Wild Side could switch places. Either way, they're my favorites. They're actually both in my top romances category in the other book, in the other video. I love them. I ate them up. I love them. I love them both. Okay, the best YA fantasy I read goes to a series, but there's 5. Again, a lot of these there's things that'll be like, best YA fantasy I read goes to the Prison Healer series. This is a 6-star series for me, I fear. I loved it. I loved it. Truly adored it. Best adult fantasy is obviously the Zodiac Academy series. Again, there is adult fantasy in the top 5 video, so don't worry. There are other not standalones, but other books that I loved. But those are my top for a reason. Then we have my most disappointing, and this one hurts to say, and this is excluding Caught Up, because I was just mad about that. Like, that was just like that's disgusting. But this is kind of similar to, I enjoyed it, I did, but there was a really disgusting thing said about God in it. I had 3 books this year that really, the way their attitude about God and Christianity made me hate the book. One of them isn't mentioned because it just doesn't need to be mentioned. But it makes me debate if I want to finish the series, because I did like it and I do like the characters and I love Holly. But also, where I love Holly so much and I love the Cool Prince series, I almost want to leave it at the Cool Prince series as much as I want more in the world, because I don't want to ruin my perception of it. And this definitely harmed my perception of that world because of how much I love it. The other thing, it's very short. It is a good size font. There wasn't a lot to it. They were cute. It was whatever. Then we have Warrior Fae. Oh my gosh, I was so enraged. Okay, so basically, when you read the Zodiac Academy series, let me get a sip of water. Let me get a sip of water before I go into this rant. When you read the Zodiac Academy series, that is a 9-book series plus novellas that you have to read most of them, so it ends up being like 12 at least. Okay, or at least 10, because there's a few that you don't have to read, but there's a lot of books in that series. Okay, and what a lot of people will recommend is they'll recommend pausing after book 3 and going and reading this 5-book series called The Ruthless Boys of Zodiac. This 5-book series that is a prequel to Zodiac Academy has nothing to do with the characters really, but the characters come into Zodiac Academy and it spoils the story. It doesn't spoil anything. It doesn't spoil a single thing. It doesn't spoil a single thing, because the only thing it spoils is romance that you know is going to happen, because you're reading a romantasy. So you have a pretty damn good feeling that, oh my gosh, the characters are going to get together. Oh my gosh, whoop-dee-doo. So the main plot of this is this girl's sister, or this girl's brother, or he dies. Okay, he's gone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Gabriel. No, that's a love interest. Some G name, I guess. I've forgotten. And so it follows 5 chunky books, including Warrior Fae, which is 991 pages. 92, actually. I remember. And only 4, once you get to Warrior Fae, a certain character book 4, a certain character, and going into Warrior Fae, a certain character having a lot more screen time, or a lot more page time And, oh, is this person? Yeah. Yeah. It's so predictable. I read 1,300 and some pages just to predict the ending, hate all the romance, and most of it be smut. Okay, I don't care. It was the most stagnant plot of a series I've ever read in my life. She goes, I need to find who killed my brother. I'm gonna go have a threesome. Find my brother. Sexy dragon. It was... I've never seen a plot be sacrificed for smut so much in my life. Like, I genuinely hate that series so much. It enrages me, and it genuinely made me scared to go back into Zodiac Academy, because I was like, I hated that so bad. Am I gonna hate Zodiac Academy? I love Zodiac Academy, as you can tell from this list, but I hate that series. I hate that series with a burning passion, and there's one character that it goes into another spinoff series, and I love that character. She honestly made the books for me, and so if her series isn't good, there's literally no reason I read that oh my gosh. Okay, I need to stop. I'm so mad. Okay, I hate that series so much with a burning passion of mine. Anyway, moving on. So, deserved hype, we have the Dixon Rule. I wasn't able to mention this in any other category, so I jumped at it. The Dixon Rule deserves every little hype. Honestly, the whole Campus Diary series, except for the third book. I didn't read the third book because I have learned with the Ruthless Boys Zodiac series, I'm just not that much of a reverse harem, any type of harem type girl. When it's in a fantasy setting, I can kind of ignore it because, oh, there's an extra plot. Well, there's supposed to be. Ruthless Boys apparently forgot about that, but there's supposed to be a plot and a romance. I'm just not gonna like it. I'm recurling this other side of my hair because what is it doing? Yeah, I loved it. Dixon Rule was my favorite. I did like, what was it, the Graham Effect? I loved that. Dixon Rule, I ate it up. It would have been a 5-star had. There was just one part that hit a little too close to home and I was upset, but it would have been like a 5, maybe even over a star. But okay, and then best thriller, we have Someone Is Always Watching and All the Missing Pieces, because I can't pick. I loved them both. And I'm really picky about thrillers. I didn't read a lot of thrillers, but okay. No, actually, best thriller, Someone's Always Watching. I read it wrong. Best romantic thriller goes to All the Missing Pieces and Capture the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco, I believe. I love that series. I don't talk about that series a lot. It's the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I love it. It is one of my favorite series. It's definitely a favorite. It is one of my favorite series ever. I love it so much. And I never talk about it, which sucks. It's such a good series, such an underrated series. I need to buy the physical copy of the first book so I can talk about it. And then my best fantasy couple has to go to Darcy, Darius, and Tori. And then obviously Percabeth, but Percabeth, I talk about Percabeth enough. I love Percabeth, but oh, best YA fantasy, we have Empire of Gold. This is the third and final book in the Devavad trilogy by S.A. I can't pronounce her last name, and I love her, and I don't want to disrespect her by pronouncing her last name wrong. But it was so fun. I ate it up. Best adult fantasy goes to Onyx Storm, and the best audiobook goes for Listen for the Lie. That is all I have for you in this video. I'm gonna go recurl my hair and then film the other YouTube video. Bye. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me what you would name, what books you would put for each of these little categories. Bye.